What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning on the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is TSM player. His partners today in the yellow color playing as Uranus is TSM's Sensway, and in the purple color playing as Zeus is TSM's Fen. Their opponents today in the teal color playing as Isis is DoD's Rangers, and his partners today in the green color playing as Thor is Brickhead, and in the red color playing as Loki is Killer Boy. Now, if I remember correctly, this map is called Nile Delta. I want to say it's called Nile Delta. There we go. We got it, slayed it. This is a really interesting map because you can get some interesting spawns on it. It's basically Anatolia, except the fish is only spawned on the top side of the map this game. You can get a spawn on this map, at least I thought you could get a spawn on this map, on this side of the map, where you get like a small pool. So it's kind of like top side is where 2 players go to fish, and the bottom side is where 1 player goes to fish. But I might be wrong, and maybe it's been an addition to the map or something like that. But on this map, it's obviously it's really at the top, which is great. We see rangers searching around on the map. He may not even go for fish. Surely you go for fish, though. Everyone needs to go for fish. The long stroll, but it looks like Fen and Rangers don't want their fish here. Alrighty. So I think this is a game requested by the Twitch viewers. And we think it was an RTSL final. Now, TSM and DoD have made it to the finals countless times, and a very strong team to boot, both of them, and this is a really strong TSM team, to be honest. A Sensway in form on patch 1.03 was a ways ago. It was a long time ago, and I think 1.03, at least, like, was it 2015 or 2016 or something like that? So these players were quite a bit younger, quite a bit more nimble, very speedy. We even see Rangers here. I haven't seen Rangers around for a long time, so definitely one of those blasts from the past. And the water's really colourful, which is really nice. You just wish you could go on a little dip in this water. Temple coming up now for TSM player. I think he's just going to go through Hermes though here. It's a very defensive map. If you grab your forward town center first, there's not a lot they can do because it kind of grabs all of the entrances into your base. They can't really raid your economy. Throw a couple of walls here and there, and it's pretty closed off. So we'll see what happens. I assume that at least someone will fight water here because it's pretty valuable. It's not a lot of fish, but it's enough to want it. There's enough to want it indeed. And Fen's just going to be playing absolutely standard. No, obviously no fish because he's so far away from it. Ranger's throwing up his temple. He's already got walls going up, houses going up, and the whole kit and caboodle, playing nice and defensive. Doesn't want to get caught by surprise by anything here. And that's the thing. That's going to be happening. Oh, a little bit of a fish bug here, it looks like. Well, idle fishing ships. There you go. Brickhead's on top of it now. Gets them to work. Another dog coming up. The double Norse in team games is really, really strong because you can get out Flaming Weapons Fimbulwinters, and you can get out Flaming Weapons just by itself. And also just the sheer amount of pressure that a Norse player can put on the map is pretty huge without getting slapped back, which is the big issue. So we may be seeing that coming into play here because this is all Zeus and Uranus here. None of that early game Mythic Age power spike that we see from Norse and specifically from Loki. But we do have probably 3 or 2 Hermes coming in for TSM, and the center coming out straight away as the town center's coming down. Rangers is going to spot this one with his obelisks instantly. So we'll see what they can do against this, but I assume there's not going to be much to be done here. And the questions are going to be, are we going to see anything coming out here? We do see some Bareems coming out for Sensway. Player's not making anything just yet. Well, he is making some. So maybe one trireme. So maybe a little bit of a fake here. I'm not sure, but Fen definitely needs to get the town centers going to make sure that he's going to be able to catch up. Rangers, on the other hand, very late advance time, partially because of all the resources you have to spend on these walls here, but it's still a very late classical age. So we'll see what he chooses to do. He's still gathering food, and the gold, he comes with these 6 villages on gold, so it's probably going to be a fast heroic here for Rangers. So we'll see where that goes. And now player and Sensway going to be taking on Killerboy and Brickhead. It's a really difficult fight for both teams to actually play. The Uranus players' ships are so much faster, so they can dip in and out and like hit everyone that they want to hit. But if the Norse players can just stand their ground and fight, they have 2 extra damage per second, which is actually counts like 4 extra damage per second. So they shoot 2 arrows, or 3 arrows actually, so it's 6 extra damage per second. So they can be very, very strong. And now the shockwave comes down. Player and Brickhead, a little bit of miscommunication. I think that they probably could have fought this, especially with the dock fire here. Don't want to be running away too much as Norse because, again, your slower ships, it's not as useful. But Brickhead getting pulled out here. Nice micro from Sensway. Unfortunately for Brickhead, it's looking like they're just going to lose this water here. Maybe going to be giving up on it. Yeah, they give up on the water. And be transitioning into the land. Longhouses, double longhouses coming down. So this is a bit of a massacre here for player and Sensway, just coming in and completely destroying the 2 Norses on this map. And then the 3 longhouses are up. We'll see where they can go with that. We have a military barracks coming up and instant stable coming down for player, and the same thing for Fen. So all of this is going to be very difficult. All the walls, looks like Rangers has basically walled off the entire map bar this spot here. And obviously this spot, I think you can still creep in around this way. But there's also room for transport ship shenanigans here, but we'll see. There's the armory and there's the Nephthys, 8 minutes and 10 seconds-ish. So that's completely fine. It's still like a little bit slow. We'll see what Rangers are going to do with it. But could be like a Flaming Weapons, Ancestors Eclipse if they can time it at the right time. They just have to, if they're on voice comms, if they were on voice comms, then they can just say go, and then they both click at the same time, and they should be able to get it off. But you do have to obviously be careful because the Flaming Weapons can be ceasefired, and same with the Ancestors, so you can't wait on the Eclipse just to go at the same time. I actually have no idea what the balance changes were for 1.03 compared to any of the other things, so we'll find out as we go along what's different. Villagers still cost 50 food. That's never going to change. And there's Ancestors coming through for, or Nephthys coming through for Rangers. And Sensway and player just making sure that no fishing is being done. Killerboy coming in with his Hearser, ready to join the party. He doesn't have Hall of Thames just yet. Is he researching it? He's grabbing it right now. He's going to be able to pick off those Hearser there for Sensway. He's building the classic Terma and Mermillo. Villager getting harassed here. There's back wood. Probably shouldn't be chopping wood that far forward. Well, now TSM is going to be on a bit of a back foot. They're both going. We're all going double town center here. And they're going to be facing a little bit of an all-in from Rangers as well, because he's only on 1 town center. So he's definitely looking to do something fairly early. And these Hearser are all out, doing a lot of damage. Killerboy has managed to get 2 town centers as well. So he's going to be able to spam these Hearser out pretty fast. You got a really big economic lead, because he's Norse, and it's going to be huge. But player does have that extra fish that he's had. There's so many fishing ships. Well, he's got 10, 12, 13, 15 fishing ships. He's Hearser trying to find something. You have to raid. You can't raid the Uranus player really, because he's always going to be under the manners. You get so much more value out of your Hearser if you just ignore the Atlantean economy and you just go for the Greek players. and we're not really seeing that from Killer Boy. He's trying to just run around there, and the runner's play is just going to chase him down. While the Ursa are a little bit faster, 5.28 versus 5.72. You're not going to be able to get too much harassment done. And there's looking a big jar of Imset coming through for Fen, who's making pure stables, pure cavalry. It's gonna be a bit more of a late game thing when he gets out the when he gets out the maybe the Myrmidon. Bunch of Scorpion men out, full ranges. It's looking very dangerous. Bunch of priests as well. I'm not sure what the priests are for, but at the very least, these Scorpion men with the Ancestors Eclipse can be huge. Siege Towers coming through as well. There's a Forest Fire for Brickhead, going to be opening up this map a little bit. Brickhead ready to attack. I don't think he's going to be advancing just yet because he's been sitting on 2 town centers, so he'll be a ways away from that. Now, Rangers is moving in, but with only 1 Siege Tower, it's going to be really difficult for him. Meanwhile, Killer Boy's trying to distract over here while these guys are making a push onto the base of Fen, he's got his Hippocon, but there's no upgrades for them, sitting without medium upgrades, without Spirited Charge. So they're incredibly weak, especially against those Scorpion men who are going to completely destroy them. Player throws the early ceasefire down because the Ancestors Eclipse would have been surefire death for this location. You know, I'm surprised it didn't get thrown down a little bit earlier, given how out of position everyone was. But now, players on 3 town centers. He's got market coming up, and he has units flooding out of his base. He's gonna have to come over here and somehow defend. We'll see if Fen just goes for the ceasefire straight away, or actually there's an option here for Fen to, or sorry, for Rangers to do an early Ancestors Eclipse. You do it like 5 seconds, you lose 5 seconds of Ancestors time, but there's no way that Fen would be expecting that to come through at all. But so we'll see what happens, but I assume that we'll just see an instant ceasefire here for Fen. But it does open up the flaming weapons for Brickhead and the Killer Boys. Maybe they just all come over here and see if they can defend. Siege Towers doing their thing. Killer Boys over here. It's going to be a pretty brutal fight coming in. Valor comes down for Sensway. These Siege Towers are just chilling here. There's no villagers in here to pick off these Siege Towers. A nice shockwave onto that Siege Tower to pick it off. There's only 1 more after that. There's War Elephant coming in. Ancestors comes in. Eclipse comes in. No ceasefire in time. The Hersa moving in here. Going to be attempting to get some mid-unit spawns. Ancestors on the back, and the Fen is deciding to run away. There's a wall here that he can run through. This Siege Tower is going to be able to take down this town center because the villagers are not here to help pick this Siege Tower off. And all of TSM will just be able to get out of here, but the damage has sort of been done. This is absolutely huge for Rangers. This is a gigantic push for DoD, and I'm not sure if there's going to be much avenue for Fen to come back in this game. He's going to be completely destroyed here, but nice little concave that they're fighting in. Need to be making sure that everyone is fighting on the same footing here, but Fen and Sensway jockeying back and forth, trying to make sure that they do as much damage as they can. We're taking as little as they can, while these Scorpion men doing the extra damage that they get. Need to be careful as well, not to get sniped by those heroes, but they haven't really managed to attack at all during this eclipse. They've just kind of been running around, causing a riot. But there's the town center going down. We'll see if villagers move forward to try and grab it back. You've got to be careful, because once the Ancestors is over, you can ceasefire, but they don't even need to at this point. We do see the priest picking off a centaur there, and yet again the DoD team is just able to push through here, and there's no response just yet for TSM. But TSM does have ceasefire left in store if they need it. But there's just so many units here, and I assume we're going to start seeing, the Heroic Age coming through, and that'll follow up with potential Mythic Age going Flaming Weapons Thimble Winter to get some value out of that. But Fen does ceasefire in order to grab his own town center back, but that will open up the Flaming Weapons for Killer Boy, who is sitting at 145 population. And he could potentially just go Mythic Age through Hell now, which is probably going to be a better option than... Actually, is it? I'm not sure if Bolt is still available. Bolt's still available for player, and I'm not sure it was nerfed yet. Not sure if Nidhogg is quite as strong in 1.03 as it was in 4.0. Apparently it is. Thomas Shelby, I don't know if that's what we say or not, but we will see. We've got some brickhead longhouses coming up, and the wall has been thrown up. Need to move that siege tower over and make sure these are coming back up. Throw up a Migdol stronghold on the forward would be huge. Killer Boy coming in. Got his Herser. Ready to do some damage. Brickhead. Everyone's in here. This is going to be a really difficult fight to manage here. These Herser need to get onto something before they cast flaming weapons. So there's the flaming weapons for Brickhead coming in. He's got all of these throwing axemen doing only 9.45 damage, but that's a lot of damage when you have 23 of them just slinging. They're basically going to be doing what archers do, and there's so many of them. And then we just see the villagers coming onto these walls here, going to be cleaning that up, and then going back onto the town center. But Fen is going to be hurting, which is the issue. But Player's been sitting in the back of his base, doing whatever he wanted for the longest time ever. He's got Hephaestus, he's got plenty of old up, he's going to be getting those armory upgrades now. The Forge of Olympus is being grabbed. That's going to be very, very fast for him as well. Those upgrades are quick, 30 seconds each. Now, the throwing action going on to the main base of Fen. These guys just want this one over and done with. We see Player going through Secrets of the Titans, though. Going to be attempting to get out of Titan here. Could be a really strong move. Since we're going through the Mythic Age through Hecate, going to be able to use that somewhere as a bit of a distraction. We do see some of the Killer Boy units coming onto this forward location here as some of those pacifists coming out. But this town center will be falling very soon. The town center of Fen going down as well. The Ranger's going to be able to grab that one for himself as soon as he wants it in reality there. And the flaming weapons for Killer Boy coming down as well. That's a bit... I'm not sure about that flaming weapons. I'm not sure where his units are. He really doesn't have that much. He's only got like 3 units here. Killer Boy. What's going on, man? He's sitting at full population. Don't know. Oh, he's got some longboats to harass. Got the battle boar over here. All these villages are all getting sniped as well. That's huge. Really nice play by Sensway there. And Titan Gate is getting thrown down in this little corner here. There's nothing around this, so if you can sneak some units up there, it could be huge. But it looks like the Hearse are going onto the villages of Sensway. TSM is completely falling to pieces here. You see a shockwave coming in from Sensway, but I think this town center will be going up fairly shortly, as Rangers has got this one as well. Rangers needs to keep moving in with these military units just to pick everything off, kill off the final frontier of Fen, and then just hopefully 3v2 the rest of this, even with the super strong units that the player's going to be having. Yes, what? There's 6 armories here. You can only get 3 armor upgrades at a time. Or maybe you could get 4 armor upgrades at a time, because you can get Burning Pitch, or 5 armor upgrades. You get Burning Pitch, and you can get what's it called? Weapons of the Titans. Okay, alright, fine. But there's 1 too many. Not going for the Titan Gate at all. Oh, huge underworld here for Player. He's going onto the back town center of Killer Boy. He'll be able to get that town center for himself. Not only that, but this Titan Gate's going to be getting up very, very shortly. This is absolutely gigantic. Player just takes this town center, and then he's going to be able to take this main base. We do see some battle ball coming over here, but DoD is not prepared for this at all. There's no ceasefire on this attack, though. So I'm not sure that this is going to... Well, it actually looks like it will work. The battle ball going to be going for the underworld passage here. We do have a frost giant, but that's not going to do all that much. We get picked off very, very fast by the Odysseus here. And you see the Titan going to be coming out. It's probably going to be able to come over here and clear out all of this. Where's Brickhead? Brickhead's coming back over onto this location. He does have access to a Ragnarok as well, so they can go Rag to take out that Titan, and he is doing that. So have to be really careful with this Titan not to overextend it, because Ragnarok will come, then it will pick off the Titan, and all will be well for DoD there. But TSM's the underworld repair rate, it's not that high, but there's just so many villages on it right now going back up, and it's looking like the battle ball will get picked off. This is going to be hard for DoD to deal with. They don't have any military buildings in the back of the base. And there is the Titan coming down for Player, moving his villages forward now. See where he chooses to do. Brickhead going to be casting Ragnarok instantly. I would have waited on that one. That's going to be interesting. See where the time goes. Hopefully we don't just sacrifice our Ragnarok here, but Brickhead's going forward with it. There's so many powers already here as well. There's no upgrades for them though, so they will die very, very fast as the Rag hero is coming in. He can come in and pick off this underworld passage though. Snipe that one from the back, but looks like the Titan going to be coming in and picking off Brickhead. Surprised to see that Fen was left to live, left to function on this back town center, because this means the player can kill this town center and he can get the town center back for himself. It's going to be totally fine. But Brickhead going to be going after this middle location here with these heroes of Ragnarok instead of going after the Titan. I'm not sure about that one. He needs to send those heroes over and see if he can snipe that Titan there. And fighting underneath all of this tower fire is good and all, but it's gonna be difficult for him. It's almost picked off the palace. Village is trying to repair that one. Not going to quite be able to do it in time. We've got some Ranger siege towers coming in as well. Player has got a hold of this back town center here. The heroes of Ragnarok coming in to clean this one off. The villagers almost picked off Fortress, not going to be able to get up there. And this underworld passage will get picked off. And this location will be back for DoD, whereas this location is being lost for DoD. And Rangers is going to be losing this location as well. A bunch of priests are out. And he does have funeral rites. He's got copper weapons as well. So this Titan's going to be taking a lot of damage to take this town center down. In fact, it's probably going to be around about 1,000 hit points, which is going to be huge. And meanwhile, we just had another siege works coming up. Surprised to see that this town center was in gravity with these villages while this was going on. The more that these priests can just target this Titan down, the better. Meanwhile, Brickhead is sitting at 100 population, so his Ragnarok was defended incredibly well there by TSM. There is the Osiris for Rangers, which is going to be a nice addition to the damage that he can do on this Titan. The Titan's still got 5,800 HP left, still going to be able to do quite a bit. And the attack onto this underworld has been thwarted. Rangers could have just built a couple of siege ship here and taken out this underworld passage as well, which is not being done, being neglected here. And now player can just attack from the back, and it's really, really hard to defend. Full Iron Zeus units just flying in here, especially the Myrmidon. These Hippocon need to get some more upgrades into them. Same with the Toxotes, but when they come in, it's going to be absolutely brutal. The Titan now moving in, going to be picking off even more of Brickhead. And this is huge because Brickhead's just ragged, so this is going to kill all of his economy right now. And we do see Rangers coming in over here to help out. Some Fire Giant going to be huge in this fight for DoD. But I think this is going to be difficult. These priests, they need to be helping out a little bit. Fen's grabbing his town center back. The priests need to follow the Titan. You can't not follow the Titan. The walls from Fen are causing a complete riot on this priest pathfinding right now. And we see their help coming in for Killer Boy, but I think there's still a bolt. No, there is still a bolt. There's 2 bolts. I'm not sure if the Nidhogg is boltable or not. We'll see. See what happens. The Titan is going to be going after this town center at all. Sensei getting his own Titan gate out. Nidhogg's going to be coming down. Comes down over here. Maybe an instant bolt. There's the bolt, and the Titan does go down. And another Titan gate coming up now for Sensei. We're really far forward, but it's looking like they're happy to do that one there. Surprised to see no forward buildings onto this town center. You come in, throw up a couple of towers here, and then you just go for it, but not happening just yet. This Titan is just causing an absolute riot onto DoD's base here, while looking like player is just trying as hard as he can to hold onto this Bellerophon, doing a lot of damage here. If you can get that jump special onto him, this thing's a recharge time of 5 seconds, so we'll see. He's going to try every single jump in he does onto a Fire Giant, basically kills it. You can kind of run away from the Bellerophon and you won't be able to jump onto him, but you have to be quick on that one. We do see that the Bellerophon will be going down as the Titan is being targeted by all these priests finally, but Sensei is over here already going after the trade route of Brickhead, who is really hurting right now. 0 town centers, 0 villages, 0 everything kind of at this point. He's got, well, he doesn't have 0 villages, he's got a bunch over here, but it's going to be a difficult time for him. We did see some Colossus coming over here. He's trying to get up a temple. He has one over here. Just needs to get out a a mummy or two, and he should be okay here. Now, player coming over onto the base of Killer Boy with his Titan. Going to be going after the whole base here, making it even more challenging for Killer Boy to defend against this forward build. We do have a catapult in here, but that's not going to do enough. It's because it doesn't have engineers, and there's so many villagers repairing. There's 17, so it's going to be totally fine. On top of that, players probably got a gigantic trade route going right now, as well as that plenty vault giving an extra 10 population or extra 10 effective villagers as well. And there's the Bellerophon coming back as the Titan is trying to still do some things, but needs to somehow pick off these priests here to slow down the bleeding on the Titan while he's trying to pick some stuff off. But it's looking like he's going to come over here and try and pick off some of these units as they're running away. The Titan is actually so slow though, so you can kind of kite him very, very well here. But we're doing the damage. It's down to half HP, but that Titan's the least of their worries. There's going to be a second Titan coming in to the DoD's base very, very soon. But Rangers has got this town center back up. He's got a couple of mummy over here. He should be able to clean this up fairly fast. We'll see if he can do it or not. 3,000 HP left on this Titan. Surprised to see that Rangers didn't go for his own Titan in the meantime, but alas, it's not going to happen. There's the Titan for Sensei. He looks incredibly similar to the Titan of player, and if that one didn't do enough damage, this one, sure as Heckfire will. And we see that Brickhead's still mining gold over here, so he is able to pump out Fire Giant, but he's got no favor left, and he needs to get back his Town Center somehow. Meanwhile, we see Killer Boy going after this Fire Siphon. One option for if Rangers is sitting on a lot of resources, which he's not really, but one option for late game, if one of your players does get kind of picked off, is you just take all these town centers, you give these town centers over to Rangers, and Rangers just fills those up with trade caravans, because you can get up to you can get infinite trade caravans, right? So you get those town centers, you get 60 trade caravans, and you just trade the other player gold, and he trades up for the resources he needs to keep producing units, because he's on 100 population, doesn't need any sort of civilian units. So it's basically like he's at full population, right? Because you have 160 population normal. Late game is 60 economic units, so could be the way to go here, but it's not. It's not happening, as now Sensei is grabbing this town center for himself, and the two Titans are just marching around the map, and Sensei is going to be stopping this. We do see the town center is down for Fem, as the Bellerophon coming out trying to pick up these catapults. Some Prodromus coming in as well, going to be able to pick these guys off as well. So many temples are up here though, but no priests are getting built in this location. And it's looking like Rangers is going to lose his foothold over here, and player is just going absolutely bonkers in this game. Still managing to hold this town center up, fighting back 2v1 here, or at least it seems like 2v1. It is 2v1. It's kind of 1v1, but 2v1 at the same time. And now player is searching for the trade route. This is going to be huge. Pick off these two markets, slow the trade route once, and then his gold will just diminish. But Rangers could just throw down a bunch more markets over here, and he should be throwing down the markets when he sees the Titan coming up. But the Titan's like he's just going to go for the town center. Really slow down this push over here. There's not really that many units in this location. If player loses this, it's going to be huge. Still surprised to see no siege ships take down this underworld passage. It's looking like players are going to be abandoning this in an attempt to come over and push back in the front, which is totally fine because there's still another Titan here to help out. But it's still anybody's game at this point, as DoD has managed to take this location down. Killer Boy going after the underworld passage. Looks like the village is going to have to come back, and they are all going to be leaving, and this location is being cleaned up. But in the meantime, Sensei's grabbed the middle. He's moving in. He's going to be grabbing Brickhead's hometown center, and Fen is grabbing back his second town center. So the town center deficit is absolutely gigantic. 3 town centers to what looks like in my mind to be 9 town centers. And this is going to be 10 town centers soon, because this Titan is just going to be able to secure it. And this is going to be 11 town centers here. Absolutely ridiculous. But DoD have grabbed back their back town center, so they've got an extra one. So going up to 5 town centers, 4 town centers, getting one back over here. 2 Titans just hanging out next to each other. This one's only got 600 HP. There is a point where you don't want to keep your Titan alive just for the sake of it, because he does take 20 population. So sometimes it's worth just letting him die and trying to just take a town center down with it. And there we go. The Titan is just about to fall. Gets one little schnicko left onto that fire giant. The villagers of Brickhead are retreating back as they've been spotted. But now Fen is here with the Silver Colossus, going to be helping out immensely, as no mummies are coming out either. Now the Titan of Senseway, not the best decision making. You're going after the priest. You can pick off these priests very, very fast though if these aren't micro, which Rangers isn't doing. And this is huge. He's going to pick off every single one of these, and then he's going to be having a complete free reign on picking off whatever he wants to at this point. And those priests are going down. The Titan making his way over onto the town center of Rangers now. Some mercenary going to be trying to get spammed out here, but for some reason Senseway ignoring the town center. He needs to take it down. I guess the Myrmidon can just do it, but they've got no upgrades. And now Killer Boy coming back over, but late game Loki, it's a difficult one to function, especially against all of this this Zeus shenanigans. Now players moving forward with the towers. We do see the fire giant going after this town center, trying to get it back. Senseway throwing down his own towers as well. And it's looking like this side of the map is falling. And I'm not sure. I'm seeing it here for DoD. DoD's going to be in a real rough shape here. Senseway trying to hold on to this this town center. It looks like it will go down to these heavy units plus the fire giant. Town center doesn't have that much HP, 3,220. So it dies fairly fast as well. But with all of this stuff, a bunch of catapult in the back as well. But while this is going on, the middle is just getting completely pushed through. The fire siphon, the Colossus, the Myrmidon coming through with, I think they've got bronze armor, but Fen's been in a rough spot here. Trying to get those villagers back on course, getting those pumping. And Jason coming out. Now Rangers sitting on 2 town centers. And he's going to be trying to take down these military barracks and everything like that. Some champion elephant moving forward as well. And the Titan now making its way over. I'm going to be taking out more town centers of Rangers. And the correct move right now for Fen is to just move forward with some towers. Make sure that this location is secured. Because this location has been secured. No one's going to get this town center, or at least DoD's not going to get this town center here. And now Dwarven Armory does go down. More guard towers going up, and where is the play right now? Player still has so much fish on. At this point in the game, you should be probably deleting your fish. Player's probably sitting in full population here. He's got so many resources. Oh, the back temple. The back temple with 200 favor in the bank. This is going to be huge. Getting those Colossus side build happening. And he's also got the blue color, so it's going to be difficult to see. And it's out of line of sight as well. The blue color kind of melds into the water here, so it's gonna be making a bunch of Colossus and just goes through the back of this town center here. And the Titans just moving forward and back, and Fen pushing through. Rangers not able to stop him. There's the town center for Fen. Heliopolis going to be taking out these fortified town centers, more villages. Oh god, he's moving up for the thing of how many Colossus. He's got 1 Colossus here. Oh, he doesn't even have gold Colossus, but he's going to be going for it. And the Heliopoli moving forward. Mountain Giant does manage to take down that Heliopolis. And the Bellerophon going to be helping out as well though, and taking down the Mountain Giant. Town center for Killer Boy going down in the front. Town center for going down in the back. Titans still doing some damage. Gonna be able to pick up these houses though. That's a big population loss there. And Brickhead does decide to tap out at that moment. Killer Boy as well. And Rangers is last to go. GG, well played by TSM, taking this game over DoD. What a absolutely insane game, back and forth the entire way, with TSM just completely destroying the water without a fight, basically. And then DoD just completely destroying Fen. And then Player just with that miracle underworld play at the back here while going for Titan. And then the Titan just did so much damage and DoD just could not recover from it at any moment. Could not get their own Titan out to deal with the Uranus one. And that was just the game there. So well played. That was a really fun game. Nice one. Hell good.